Hello everyone and welcome back to another instalment of the Warwick F1 show. The summer break is finally over. The Dutch Grand Prix is now upon us, and so it is about time for us to make our predictions and make our preview for the Netherlands Grand Prix. I'm your host Callum, and I'm once again joined by Chinmay and Katch. And just before we hop into our predictions, we want to have a preview of what we can expect from this race coming up. No sprint weekend, obviously, and also we haven't had many changes from to the track in Zandvoort since we raced there last year. So the main focus going into this race is going to be on the drivers. Obviously, the focus is going to be on Verstappen. It's his 200th start in F1, an incredible milestone to achieve. And I think really it couldn't be more important for him as such. He's obviously a home Grand Prix, which every driver is going to want to win their home race. But for this one especially, I think there's been a lot of talk over the summer break about this contest for the championship, especially the Constructors' Championship, since we now know that Perez is staying at Red Bull, and this battle between Verstappen and Norris and McLaren and Red Bull in the Constructors. And so, Katch, I'll come to you first. I feel like Verstappen's going to want to kind of put his foot down in a way, quite literally and figuratively, about making sure that he can present to the other drivers, right, I'm here to win this championship, essentially. And yeah, essentially that.
Yeah, 100%. I think no matter what, he goes into this as a favourite because he's won the last 3 Dutch Grand Prix. And it's his home race, like you've mentioned. But especially because we've had the summer break. This is now the first race after the summer break. It was typically Spa, but that was moved beforehand, as we know. So he should be coming into this weekend. Every driver will have a fresh state of mind. They will have been relaxing as well as training, and especially those still in the title fight and those for the constructors as well. So I think he's going to come out with a fighting spirit. He knows that he is in the lead by 70-odd points. So by winning this race, it will really show everyone that, look, our car may not be the fastest, but I am still here to win. I am still the best driver. So I expect nothing less than a proper, determined Max Verstappen.
No, I think so. And if he's not determined in every race, then certainly he's going to be for this one even more so than he usually is. But I think as well, we shouldn't understate the fact that this is going to be an important race for all of the drivers. I think, as we mentioned, coming in after the summer break, and I think a lot of drivers really have something to prove in this race coming forward. Obviously, you mentioned Verstappen. Perez has to, again, like every race, try and show the team some kind of worth for him as a driver, and try and maintain or reduce that gap that he has to Verstappen. But also teams like McLaren and Mercedes, who are going to want to have a very good start and set the tone going forward into the last part of the season to try and improve their positions in the Constructors' Championship and the Drivers' Championship. Chinmay, if I come to you, what team do you think is going to be the most important to look out for in this Dutch Grand Prix?
It's a weird one because I do think it's going to be Mercedes.
Mercedes.
I'm thinking it's going to be Mercedes because the way Mercedes perform, especially in the second half of the season in general, obviously, and we'll see it especially good pointers from Zandvoort, is where they finish, because that's going to impact the actual constructors race itself as well, whether Mercedes can catch up to Ferrari, and then obviously because if they're going to continue this momentum of fighting at the front like they have been for the last 3-4 races, they're going to be kind of in the way between Red Bull. Well, I say Red Bull, I mean Verstappen and the 2 McLarens. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting second half, and especially to see how those 3 teams.
I completely agree, but I also think it's worth thinking about towards the back of the grid and the teams where there is still drivers not confirmed for 2025. This race last year was where Daniel Ricciardo broke his wrist, I believe. So he had to be replaced by Liam Lawson. And following on from Zandvoort, we have Monza straight after this. So we have a double header. And I have a feeling for some of these teams that, like Alpine, that have a driver spot, that this will determine whether they keep people on, who they build, who they replace. So I think it's really important for the drivers as well. They'll probably be feeling the pressure because there's no excuses. They've had a break, they've had a refresh. If they don't come back and show why they should be in F1, then that might be it.
Yeah, you mentioned the drivers that are perhaps still on the F1 grid and are looking to show their worth to their team and complete these different contracts. You'll have to remind me here. So obviously we have both Gasly and Ocon. Magnussen we know is out, and Hülkenberg is in at Sauber, turning into Audi. I want to say Lance Stroll, but then I don't know. He's kind of gone on.
Confirmed.
He is confirmed now. Sorry, my apologies. So we have
confirmed.
we've got Ricardo as well, I believe. Who?
Yes.
So he's definitely going to be one to try and make up some points on his teammate Yuki Tsunoda. He's 10 points behind currently, and obviously continually wanting to show his worth to the team and try and remain in F1 as best he can, despite his quite poor form at the start of the season.
Yep.
And I think obviously we've got the two. Have we got any of the Saubers confirmed?
We have Hülkenberg. So Hülkenberg.
The current Sauber drivers.
Oh, the current Sauber drivers.
I don't think we have. I think it's still waiting because we were talking about this at the summer break, whether either of those drivers are going to actually be maintained for 2025.
Yeah, so neither Bottas nor Zhou currently have a 2025 seat, and there is only one seat available at Sauber. So
yes, indeed, and obviously we're still waiting on that confirmation of the seat at Mercedes. Probably the
hottest seat.
The hottest seat, exactly. Yes, that's the word for the what we'll be looking out for over the next few days. So certainly a lot of teams and drivers that are going to want to make their mark on this race and for the races coming forward. So I think we'll move straight on to our predictions then. And so basically the way that we do our predictions, if you haven't listened to our podcast before, is that we do a kind of snake format. So basically not only one person, we take it in turns who can choose our winner first. And so if we go back, I believe it is Katch to actually choose first. So you have a free pick on who you're going to choose for first place. Have you gone for Verstappen?
I have gone for Verstappen, sadly.
Okay, that is to be expected.
Although my body did not want me to do that, but common sense shows that Max will win again 4 times in a row.
We certainly wouldn't be caught by surprise if he was to be able to do that. But yeah, so that's first place for you is Verstappen. And did you want to run through the rest of your top 5?
Yep. So I've got Verstappen in first, Norris in second, Russell in third, Piastri in fourth, and Hamilton in fifth.
Wow, you've done Hamilton very dirty there. I've got to say, I thought he'd be a little bit further. He's certainly a bit further up in my predictions.
I know. I was thinking about that. However, I have a feeling that George will just feel so misdone by and mistreated from the result in Spa that he's going to come back fighting and get the Mercedes priority at this point.
Yes, no, I think that's very fair enough, and we know that George can put in his fair share of very good performances. He's proven that time and again, I think. And did you want to go through your 1, 2, and 3 point predictions? So essentially, we make 3 predictions that are worth 1 point, 2 point, and 3 points. And the more points that it's worth, the more unlikely that it is going to happen. Essentially. So what have you gone for, Katch? This is interesting. I think this is your first time actually making the predictions.
This is, so there's still maybe some debate on whether they'll be worth the points they are. But I feel like the easy one, in my opinion, for my 1 point, is Max Verstappen gets pole. He knows this track, he's won all the races, he's got the confidence, he has to get pole.
Yes, I think that's certainly, and we know that Verstappen has been on some very, very good qualifying form throughout the last few races, and it's more even even when that car hasn't been up to standard on actual race pace, he's able to get the qualifying done on the Saturday.
Yep.
So I think that's a fair 1 point prediction.
Yep. My 2 point is that both Alpines are out in Q1.
Okay. I think that's fair enough for a 2 point prediction. I mean, we've certainly known that some at least one of the drivers maybe will at least be able to get into Q2. If you said Sauber, I might have to debate it a bit more, but I think with Alpine, I think that's fair enough. And the 3 point prediction?
Charles Leclerc crashes out in the race.
Ooh.
I have a feeling that the Ferraris aren't going to do great. I don't know what it is. I just have this gut feeling. So,
well, they have. I can't see them really going anywhere because obviously Mercedes. I'm sure we've talked about this at some point with how the Mercedes. We were saying Mercedes before the summer break in the first few races how we were seriously doubting them and doubting whether they could be anywhere near the top four and thought that they were slipping back even further, especially after the poor season they had in 2023. But they've proven that they can get back up there now, and they've made a car which can compete at the front, which we've seen like in the likes of Silverstone, for example. And I just don't see that with Ferrari.
Yeah, Mercedes have made the progress. Sure, there's been the summer break, so the momentum may have died a little bit, but they've still got the positive energy, they've got the motivation, and they've got the momentum. So that's why I see Mercedes doing well. Obviously, there's Verstappen, and both McLarens do well. Normally, you would think, okay, if that's the top five, then Ferraris would be maybe lower down. But I can see Charles, or one of the Ferraris at least, but I'm going with Charles, having a really poor qualifying, and from that being caught up in some sort of chaos and crashing out, and that means a safety
and trying to make up places as well, and so maybe trying to push it over the limit. And we know that Charles Leclerc, as good as we know his raw talent is one of the drivers that might find it a bit difficult to find where the line is on kind of the drivability of the car and pushing it too much so that it will go into the barrier. We have seen that before. And so, I think that's fair enough. And obviously it's been a while since I think we've put Ferraris. I mean, occasionally we might put Leclerc or Sainz in there, but it's been very rare that we've seen Ferraris actually in our top five, if anywhere in a fifth place. And so I think now it has gotten to a point where we're expecting it to be Red Bull, McLaren and Mercedes up there. Well, I say Red Bull, again, Verstappen. It's typically Verstappen and the two McLarens, two Mercedes. And Ferrari just in that kind of lonely fourth place at the moment. They're obviously much better than Aston Martin, but can't seem to get anywhere near really challenging for the front few spots, I think. But I think that's fair enough predictions. So I am next, we should say that Katch was covering for Will Kingswood, who unfortunately could not be here today, and I'm going to cover, as I usually do, for Will Biddles, as he also unfortunately couldn't be here today. So I'm second, and I was going to go with, I said that Hamilton would be up there in my predictions. I think he's going to win. Now, this might be a slight hope. It probably should be, it should be me being Will Kingswood if I'm predicting Hamilton first, but I do think he has, if the Mercedes car is there and has the race pace to challenge, then you can just see Hamilton getting the job done. We know how consistent he is, and he just, with the experience as well, a bit like that feeling we had in the last few laps of Silverstone, where you just know that he's going to be able to make it to the end, and you know he's going to be able to control that race. And so I do quite fancy Hamilton. And I do think as well, since Verstappen has, as we've mentioned, won the last few Dutch Grand Prix, it will maybe be quite good if Hamilton, as a Brit myself, just to upset the order a little bit. I've then gone with Piastri second. I think I've got, this was coming into our debate catch last time of who do we think is going to be the better McLaren, or who has been the best McLaren. I'm hoping that Piastri can stay up there. I've quite liked the look of his performances in the last few races before the summer break. I then go with Verstappen third.
Interesting.
Maybe.
Do you think an incident happened to bring him lower down, or is it
maybe an instant to bring him lower down? Maybe it's tactical, just to put him in the top five because he might be up there. Or maybe the Red Bull car is just that off that he isn't able to properly challenge for the front few places. I'm not sure, but it felt wrong to not have Verstappen in there, I would say. Norris then in P4. Maybe Norris and Verstappen get caught up and battling with each other, for example. And then, as we mentioned, 2 McLarens, 2 Mercedes. So Russell rounds out my top 5. My 1 point prediction is that I've said that at least 10 seconds. I wasn't sure, but I think at least 10 seconds worth of penalties in the entire race between everyone. Is that a fair 1 point prediction?
So that's 2 penalties, right? Basically.
So yeah, you could have 2 drivers getting a 5-second penalty each, essentially. And
but don't forget, if someone causes a collision, it's 10 seconds for that one person now.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's
I think that's fair for 1 point. They'll probably
especially the nature of the Zandvoort circuit. Obviously, it is a proper circuit, but it's quite a tight and narrow circuit in some parts. So I can maybe see that happening. My 2 point prediction, I said that we get 1 Red Bull outside the top 8 finishing.
Yes,
because I think Perez could break into the top 8. Okay, he's not that bad.
Wow. Okay. Yes, I'll go with it. I think so.
Okay, so we'll do that for 2 point, and then for my 3 point prediction, I usually like to hope for a bit of chaos in my 3 point prediction. I've gone with at least 3+ cars DNF in a single incident. So
in a single incident. Hello, Monaco.
Yes. Hopefully, well, maybe that will certainly make the race a bit more exciting. Well, I don't know about it. Could maybe be just 3+ cars DNF. I'm not sure about in a single incident, but we'll hope, I suppose.
Yeah, I think 3+ cars. That
it's not a 3. It's a 3 point prediction for a reason. So
exactly.
It's very unlikely to happen.
Yeah. I can.
So we'll go with We'll go with that, I think. And then last, Chinmay, to pick, it's you. So obviously you can't pick Verstappen and Hamilton. So I'm interested to see what you go for. Do you go for the other Mercedes or maybe one of the McLarens?
I'm backing my boy Piastri. Piastri first.
Okay, fair enough. That's so we're both along the lines of hoping for a good Piastri performance. Anyway, continue with your top 5. Oh yeah, go on.
No, am I? I want a good Piastri performance. It's just
okay. Fine, predicting a very good Piastri performance, I should say, maybe, or over Norris rather. I'd say that's definitely where we differ from Katch. I'd say, go on, Jim, mate.
I'm going to go for Russell second because I think for the same reason. I think he's just going to be extra motivated after that DNF he had. Then I'm going to go for Norris third because I do reckon his McLarens are strong on every track at the moment anyway. So I always would rate them to be towards the top. And then fourth Hamilton, tactical fifth for Verstappen because I can't really see where.
I was wondering where Verstappen was going to fit into this.
Because
Chinmay does like his tactical Verstappen fits.
Yeah, because whenever I predict Verstappen, he never ends up in the position I predict. So I was just just slap him in fifth.
Yeah,
I'll get that point somewhere. And to be honest, I do see. Let's be honest, there's always going to be some sort of Hamilton Verstappen clash. So I don't think it'll be anything big, but something will definitely cost them both some places. So,
but I think certainly we could get a repeat of the Austria event where we have a bit of chaos at the front and Verstappen does have to drop back a little bit. You never know, but it's certainly a good idea, I think, to get Verstappen up there. And your 1, 2, and 3 point predictions.
Yeah. Okay. So for my 1 point prediction, I am going for McLaren closing the gap to Red Bull by at least 5 points. So. So basically, I have to outscore Red Bull by 5 points, pretty much. My 2 pointer, Ricciardo outqualifies Perez. Continuing my Perez optimism.
Perez. I just had to process that for a second. Then, okay. Well, it is a 2 point prediction, we should say, but if Perez qualifies or goes out in Q1 again, then yeah, maybe you can see it. I don't know.
I
It
can see
certainly
it.
wouldn't.
Even if both get into Q2, I can see it.
Yeah.
I think so.
It
Yeah.
wouldn't be the most. Well, the fact that it's a 2-point prediction is like not good in the
Yeah.
grand scheme of things with Perez's performance. But then we all know about Perez's performance. So, no, I think I do like that. That's a very creative 2-point prediction. I can't wait to see what your 3-point pointer is going to be. Go for it.
So my 3-pointer, it's because I always go like I'm going the top 3 finish within 10 seconds of each other.
Ooh, if we have that, that will be an exciting race. I think.
Because one of them won't have run away with it at that point.
Yeah. That's what you want, that maybe Verstappen doesn't run away with.
But to be honest, the grid is close enough that it's quite rare for someone to actually run away with wins at the moment. So, yeah.
Yeah, certainly we've been treated to some, as we know, we've been treated to some very good races, and you never know, both McLarens or the Mercedes could, I guess, even if Verstappen was in front, tail along and try and close that gap. So, but yeah, I think that's very good. Well, we're all obviously very much looking forward to the Dutch Grand Prix and being back after the summer break, even if it's not Belgium as usual after the summer break. It's still good to have F1 back. Do we have any final thoughts on predictions or expectations or things to look out for going into the Holland Grand Prix?
I don't know, but it's definitely not the Holland Grand Prix because Holland is technically not the Netherlands, it's a part of the Netherlands, so...
Seriously?
Yeah, Holland and the Netherlands aren't the same thing.
Okay, right, we're cutting this out. Seriously, I thought Holland and the Netherlands were interchangeable.
It's a misconception, but Holland is a part of the Netherlands. It's an area.
Yeah, it's like the biggest province or something like that.
Wow. Well, this isn't an F1 breakthrough. This is just a geography breakthrough.
Geography.
Okay. Wow. Right. Okay. I'm an idiot. So anyway, we'll leave it there. Yes. Well, thank you very much for listening to our Netherlands preview. We shall be back after the race as usual with our review, talking about all the different events that occurred, and also make sure to check out all of our episodes that we've been releasing over the summer break. So this is our reviews of the first part of the season and our best episodes. Our best races from the Turbo Hybrid era. That was a really fun one to record. And also make sure to go and check out the TikTok page as well, as there'll be regular videos posted up on there. But until then, thank you very much, Katch and Chinmay. I've been your host, Callum, and until next time, goodbye.